It's always awkward when you put hundreds and hundreds and maybe even hundreds of pieces of content out there. Long form, graphics, video, audibles, etc. And people still ask you, what the heck do you do? Oh, you really are an insert what you do. Oh, you actually know what you're talking about. You really did work or collaborate with those high-level companies, work with that variety of networks, that vast number of customers. You actually generated that amount of revenue, profitability, views, subscribers, those awards, those accolades, those press releases, those media features were legit? They're validated? I think you get my point. And to add, it's not only awkward, it's frustrating that it's not believed, received, or accepted from the jump, if at all. Is this in home? Can you relate? Or is it just me? Am I the only one? Throw me a lifeline. We are out here pouring our hearts out to be, air quotes, thought leaders, experts, build our brand equity, to get our business, to be seen, heard, felt, respected, to be featured, accepted among our peers, to be accepted within our industry, to be accepted by our community, our target audience. Maybe for the digital clout, maybe even the vanity metrics, who am I to judge? And people may consume your content, but don't connect the perception of value that you want, that you hope for, that you would like to the content you're distributing. Now the question becomes, is that on them or is that on you? Marinate on that. I'll see you in 90 seconds. Hey, I Digress listeners, we did it. The I Digress podcast has been making sound waves within the business and marketing podcast communities over the past year, and I'm incredibly happy to announce that I Digress is sponsored by the HubSpot Podcast Network. The HubSpot Podcast Network is the audio destination for business professionals who seek the best education and inspiration on how to grow a business. Yes, I'm talking about your business. Now, you know all of that aligns with the purpose and mission with each episode of I Digress. As the podcast industry is rapidly growing, you need shows you can trust. Listen to value-packed shows just like mine who are dropping business gems on how to elevate your business. From marketing to sales to entrepreneurship to leadership and so much more. Listen, learn, and grow with the diverse, knowledge-rich hosts on the HubSpot Podcast Network. To listen to level up, go to HubSpot.com/podcast network. I've been doing marketing strategy for over 10 years. And to be clear in this moment, if I can be vulnerable with you, because I feel like we're in a safe space. I mean, I'm in your ear, so it's very vulnerable here. I haven't hit 30 yet. So sometimes people see my youth and think I don't know what I'm talking about. And so I worked so hard that I got acknowledged and recognized by the LA Wire's 30 and 30. And I would think that award will compensate for that particular situation. But what I've learned, it's not enough to create good content consistently. It's not enough to get awards and features and guest appearances and all these different things if the work and energy and effort and time it takes to get those things or be a part of those things or create those things does not establish and create the perception you need in order to get the result that you want. Otherwise, all this effort, all this energy, all these resources, and maybe all this money being exerted into content with the intentions of building brand equity, growing your business, establishing as a thought leader, as a strong presence within your industry, your clients, your consumer base, whatever it might be, and it doesn't do that, it failed. It's not working efficiently. It's not working effectively for the intent and purposes of why you're doing it for. And that may be a hard thing to think because we have been trained. You read so many books, you watch so many YouTube videos and so many things telling you create. As a matter of fact, hold that thought.
Create. Let's see what you can make. Think it, dream it, build it, grow it. I'm sure it will be great. Create. Don't procrastinate. Explore your gifts, share your talents, and please don't make us wait. Create. Learn from your mistakes, find your light shining bright, make the world a better place. Create, 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 raise the bar, set the stakes, keep your pace. Remember, it's a marathon, not a race.
What's up, digital world? You're listening to the I Digress audio experience with Troy Sandidge. Social media, marketing, storytelling, business, culture, and more. Coming to you in 3, 2, 1.
Pretty dope, huh? That was by TikTok user Roya by Design 369. Remember, we gotta always be creating, but creating is only part of the journey. We have to couple that with creating content that connects. As I said it before, and I'll say it again, it is not enough to create good content consistently. To be frank, in 2021, in the 21st century, to be effective marketing overall, let me be clear, that is the bare minimum. Be consistent. We already know that. Let's stop giving that so much praise. Let's celebrate. You ready for this? Let's celebrate when our content connects to people, convinces others of our worth and truth, commands attention, controls the narrative of our brand equity, converts people into believers of our skills and buyers of our products or our services, and complements all the hard work we do behind the scenes. Your content is literally about taking people on a journey to get them to how you want them to feel about you, as well as what action you want them to take thereafter. It's not enough to tell your story. Trust, I've gone mega deep with my story on this podcast. Check failure, check grit. And sure, people say, people call me brave, people call me courageous, inspiring, flattered, thankful, I'm appreciative. But what they don't do is open up their pocketbooks just because they heard how resilient I am, my tenacity, my grit. They don't open up their pocketbooks just because I won't let defeat stop me. A lost client, a lost customer, a lost job, health struggles, financial struggles, mental woes. That doesn't mean they're going to open up their pocketbooks for you. Unless you're an actor, unless you're a motivational speaker or something along those lines. But even then, it only goes so far. It's not enough to tell intimate or vulnerable moments of your story as content. And if it only gives you vanity metrics of high likes, high shares on LinkedIn, on the gram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Snapchat, okay, is that your cap? Is that your ceiling? Is that the only thing you want your content to do? Last time I checked, those who listen to I Digress don't just want to get hyped up, be motivated. They want to make money. They want to make the green, the MONEY. You know me? You feel me? You hear what I'm saying? So we got to engineer our content to generate that green, not just get some likes. As I said before, and I say it time and time again, I cannot cash in likes for money. There is no cryptocurrency system currently in place for all the likes and the followers and the comments and the views and the impressions that you can take it to the bank and get that green. When it does happen, let me know so I can get in line. I can change my whole strategy. But for now, if you want to learn how to get viral, air quotes, this ain't the podcast for you. As I've said before, virality is subjective. Virality is a one-hit thing. When you're listening to this podcast, we have this understanding. We have this relationship that I'm here to get on this mic, drop this value, so you can get that green. So you can grow your business. Not just the vanity for the clout that doesn't do you anything. What good is it if you achieve 1 million followers, 1 million likes, tens of millions of impressions, and one media feature on the news, and you still broke? That you can't even afford to pay for the internet to see the vanity metrics that you got. Sit on that. Think on that. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Content is a tool. Content is a strategy. Content is a pillar to the growth we want to achieve. Think beyond just, I'm showing up. I'm scheduling out my content. Even just beyond scheduling, the type of content, using video, long form, short form, micro, macro, all the different varieties. We have to be able to track. We have to be able to see if it will generate what we need. Okay, I digress, listeners. I know I'm not the only one who's like, hashtag the struggle is real when you're trying to grow your business, increase your sales, and expand your network. And it all comes down to those vital details. I'm talking about names, emails, titles, vendors, clients, customers, and those crucial touch points referenced from past conversations. Luckily, there is a tool that readily provides the information we need to reference to keep us on track and be on our A game to get the job done. As you all know, I'm all about eliminating complexity from the business equation to create simple pathways to move your business forward. HubSpot has done that with their CRM tool, which stands for Customer Relationship Management. Instead of having your notes, conversations, data, and follow-ups all disjointed, use HubSpot CRM to create unparalleled alignment within your business to provide better customer service, amp up the quality of your sales conversations, and generate more business knowing you have the best all-around CRM platform at your disposal that can grow with you. Imagine having a live chat on your website to talk to prospects on the fly, or creating personalized content for customizable experiences. Best of all, they have a supportive community and flexible pricing that fits your needs and your budget. Learn more about how you can scale your company without scaling complexity using HubSpot CRM at HubSpot.com. We've already know what we need to do, create content consistently. That's a given. That's a bare minimum. I've said it before, and y'all already know. I'm all about repetition. The more people consume and repeat certain things, the more it gets to their head that I need to debunk this myth, I need to accept this new reality, and I need to embrace these things in order for me to grow. You think I just come on this podcast to just speak some noise, to hear myself talk? Please. I'm not here for that. You know how hard it is to keep a podcast going? I'm trying to be consistent, yes, but I'm also trying to bring people on a journey. If you remember, and I say this all the time, you bring your consumers to the relationship status of BAE, buyers, advocates, and elevators. Maybe they don't want to hire me right now, but they can sure listen to my podcast and get enough passive value that may can help them until a certain point, and then they need to hire me to do the rest. Or maybe they need to get a bigger taste of how I think, of how I actually help my clients. This podcast also serves as that purpose. It also serves as a purpose for brand awareness. People who've never heard of me. I digress. Spelled that way. Done that way. That's interesting. Why is it called that? What value am I going to get from that? I debunk all of that. I help you through this journey by being on this podcast. Oh, Troy struggles with creating content consistently. I do. Not that I don't know how to do it, but I'm a man of many talents. I get bored quickly, and I always have to do a lot of things. But me showing consistently in this podcast form works. That then cut up into amazing audiograms. Shout out to my Trend Up Media team. Appreciate you all so much for the support you all give me for the past year. If you need podcast support and execution and evolution, Jordan Paris, JP, he's your guy. Reach him out on LinkedIn. He's huge. He's amazing. He's great. And here we are. So this podcast is not one-dimensional. It's multifaceted. And you need to figure out how to tool and equip your content to be multifaceted, where it feels seamless, but the outcome can be multiple touch points, multiple types of distribution channels, multiple end games, multiple CTAs. And while you're listening, I will really appreciate if you give me a review. I get it. I know, the rate, give me the 5 stars is easy, but a review does so much. And I would especially love it if you take the time to do what episode or episodes landed with you for your business. What success stories came from that? That helps me know what I need to focus on more. But back to my point. I'm sure you heard this before, and it's very true. Facts tell, but stories sell. I've used this example before. Whether you have an Android or an iPhone, it's a phone. And maybe it has a certain amount of megapixels for a camera. It has a certain amount of gigabytes for storage. This and that, and this feature and that feature. Okay, cool. But how does it make you feel when you take the most dopest photo at an event with you and your partner, you and your family, you and your friends, and now you have a key moment? Sure, the phone was just the bridge between the picture, but the phone made the picture possible. And now that high quality image means a lot more to you. And now you can tell a story from that. Came from the product, but you notice they don't focus on the dimensions of the product as much. It's about the feeling. It's about the emotion. The connection, all that intertwined. I want that result. I want that feeling. I want that magic to happen to me. And if I associate that with this product with this phone, I need to buy it. How much is it again? I need to buy it. Done. Deal. Same thing with your content. It's not enough to get their interest if they don't take action. You only get so many of those. And you may only get one. So we gotta go deeper than that. I get it. Track the data. All the growth and numbers are a byproduct of content converting into customers or clients, acquisition, ROAS, return on ad spend. I get all of that. I get the vanity. But when we understand and can cut through some of that noise, it would make it a lot easier. And I want to focus on that not only for the business, but you as a business professional, you as your own content creator. Because as much content as you push on a business, it has to feel personal. The more conversions you're going to get. And that's through personal branding. That's through individuals sharing the stories on behalf of the business, on behalf of the company, on behalf of the product, on behalf of the service. Whether it's yours, whether it's your team's, whether it's your customers or clients through UGC, user-generated content. So it's not enough to have content. Do you have content that converts? And can you duplicate that consistently? Is it as fluid as water, where it molds to the situation, it molds to the platform, it molds to the pace, and the ebbs and the flows, and the trends, and the seasons, not only of your business, but the life cycle of your customer, the life cycle of your clients? But I digress. Content marketing is the fuel. Social media is the highway. On this highway, everybody's making noise. Everybody is making noise. Stop celebrating that you're making noise. You need to be heard. You need people to see you, hear you, feel you, and then make a decision accordingly. And if I can get a higher percentage of people who, if they get one touch point, take an action for a second touch point, then you can do everything I said in the Disqualified to Sell episode. And then you're going to make the money and we're going to celebrate it. You're going to leave an awesome review of how the strategy helped you grow your business. I know. It's not being cocky. I'd just like to see a few more reviews. I'd really appreciate that. Anyway, again, back to the beginning of what I was saying in regards to me. I mentioned the LA Wires 30 to 30, insert imaginary celebration, yay. And all these awards and accolades and different things I've achieved. And sometimes it doesn't do enough. People read right past that. Why? Because I didn't position and put together the content in a way that cuts through the cheese, that cuts through the noise, to get to their heart, their mind, their soul. I need to not only have their heart, I need to have their mind, where the logic and the emotions connect, passion, purpose, power. All three, now I got the green. I have your attention, but you're also going to take an action. And with those two together, we can now achieve growth. And so it is like playing chess. And sometimes because we get set in our rhythm of things, we plan things out, or we're spontaneous, or we're doing a hybrid of both, and we're used to those confinements, we don't take the time to go 50,000 feet up in the air and make sure, are the puzzle pieces fitting together to build the bigger picture that we want through the content that we're distributing. If we're not always distributing, it doesn't matter. I get tired of people creating content one time and just think that's good, that's it. Nah, bruh. Keep pushing that content out. Keep pushing that content out in all the different forms. And I'll echo this for you too. It's not just in what you're comfortable with. It's what your consumer, your client needs most. So do you got content? Sure. Do you have content that converts? Maybe. We hope. If you don't, we need to focus on that. Does your content convert consistently? That's how I want to frame it. I just don't want to create content consistently. I want my content to convert consistently. And you should do the same. So look at your content over the last 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, 1 week, 1 day. Put the numbers on a spreadsheet. Or you can put them using HubSpot. But I digress. Look at the numbers. Look at the data. And try to connect the data to the human element. And when you see certain indicators, when you get the growth numbers that you want, and other indicators when you don't get the growth that you want, those are your benchmarks. Those are your levels that you need to figure out the frequency at which the content, style, format, focus, distribution, delivery needs to be done to consistently over a span of time that we can forecast, create the amount of money, the amount of revenue and profitability that we need to hit those next levels. It's not enough to be creating content. It's not enough. That's the bare minimum. That's basically you breathing as a business at this point. Stop celebrating that. I'm not trying to crush anybody's hearts. We gotta go beyond that. Content is the fuel. Content is the fuel. It's essential. It's critical. It's vital. So, take your content seriously. Look at all the data. Look at all the numbers. Ask questions. Push more UGC. That's the best content in the world because it takes less strain off of you, allows you to be more resourceful. Remember my DART marketing methodology, direct, authentic, resourceful, and tactical. The R&T, y'all. UGC pushes that very heavily and have to be more direct and authentic using your own customers, your own consumers, your own ambassadors, your own supporters to your advantage to be your extended marketing network, your extended content machine, content creation machine to grow. Now, come on, y'all. That's how we do it. That's how it's done. I know I gave it a little light on this episode, but it was on my heart. Something I want you to focus on. Don't just create content. Create content that converts. Thanks for listening.
And that's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this episode of I Digress. What was your takeaway? Care to share your thoughts and tag Troy on social media? You can find him on all platforms at Find Troy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review or comment for this episode from wherever you're listening. Looking for a marketing strategist to build the structure, strategies, and systems you need to get the success you want and the ROI you desire in your business? Book a discovery call to talk with Troy at findtroy.com. And as Troy's philosophy goes, imagination is the engine, content is the fuel, social media is the highway, marketing is the roadmap, sales is the destination, culture is the GPS. Thanks for listening.